Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Side. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Yashodanandana Brajajanandana, Yashodanandana Brajajanandana, Jamuna Dhira Vanachari, Jamuna Dhira Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Sadasyaman Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavindra ki jai. Ramacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Sri Sri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Sam Kund Radha Kund Girivardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Dham ki jai. Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Jamuna Mai ki jai. Tulasi Devi ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai. All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, may I have your obeisances?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Happy to
Krishna
be with
Maharaj.
you. Hare Krishna.
Nice to see your lotus face, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for coming. We can
It's our
start,
pleasure.
Maharaj.
It's
Yes,
our
Maharaj.
pleasure to be with you. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj,
Hare
we can
Krishna.
start. I put the verse on the screen, so we can start.
Okay. Nam Vishnu Padaya Krishna 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 Hare Prabhupada Sittam Shri Gaurakaram Sakti Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nashta Prayesha Badrisu Ityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavatyutama Sloki Bhakti Bhavati Naisti Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshulunvitam Jena Taismai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stavitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Andeham Sri Gurun Sri Yudapadakamal Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagadatam Sahaganu Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahaganu Lalita Shri Visakam Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Apta Kanchana Gourangi Rati Vrindavaneshwari Vrisavana Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Panchakala Pataru Jascha Kripa Sundajaya Vacha Aditanam Padrivyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Jai Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Hare Krishna. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Prayers by Queen Kunti, text number 4. Santvayam asanga mudibir ata bandun Sucharapitan Utesu Kalasiagatim Darasayana Patikriyam Santwayam Asamudibirin Kata Bandun Sucharapitan Utesu Kalasiagatim Darasayana Pratikriyam Santwayam Asamunibiri Atabandur Sucharapitan Utesu Kalasya Gatim Darasayana Pratikriyam Santwayam Asa pacified Munibihi along with the Munis present there. Atabandun those who lost their friends and relatives. Sucharapitan all shocked and affected. Utesu unto the living beings. Kalasya of the supreme law of the Almighty. Gatim reactions. Dharasayan demonstrated. Na no. No. Pratikriyam remedial measures. Translation and purport by Divine Grace. Sesi Bhakti Swami citing the stringent laws of the Almighty and their reactions upon living beings, Lord Sri Krishna and the Munis began to pacify those who were shocked and affected. Let me repeat. Citing the stringent laws of the Almighty and their reactions upon living beings, Lord Sri Krishna and the Munis began to pacify those who were shocked and affected. Purport. For those who are not following from the beginning, this verse is referring to the side effect of the Kurukshetra war. After fighting the war, 640 million people were killed. Those are the number calculated. More than 100 million were not also counted. But the figure that we can hang on to 640 million, according to our chariots. About 100 million is not counted. So after that, all those who died were Kshatriyas. Kshatriya means they are the leaders to control the citizens. It means so many people were made widows. Hare Krishna Prabhu, I said my whole business. All the Vaishnavas. So after millions of soldiers, the leaders of the world, these are the leaders of the world. Of course, they are leaders of the world in name only. Actually, they were demons operating as leaders. Of course, not all of them. Especially those who actually perpetrated the fighting of the Kurukshetra war, the Kauravas. They were not devotees, they were not leaders, they were actually demons hanging on the name of being leaders to perpetrate their evils. So they are aggressors. Some were not aggressors, they did their duty, they did a fight out of duty, not because they were envious or inimical towards the Pandavas, or were they supporting the Dhritarashtra and his family members. No, they did out of duty. So in these ways, so many leaders, so-called leaders, including the general leaders, as Krishna said to Arjuna, see, everyone here are going to live, except only 5 people. Everyone here is going to live. I have really done what I have wanted to do. But I just want to give you credit because you're devotee. That is Krishna's nature. The Krishna is not satisfied being the supreme almighty presence of God. He's not just satisfied. When you say God, you can look about that. But when you're talking about Krishna, you're not just satisfied being the supreme personality of Godhead being worshipped by Krishna. Lies Krishna. When you say Krishna, he lies to be among his devotees as not God, as friends. In this way, he enjoys himself. That is what he came to do in the now. He didn't come here as supreme personality of God. Because that does not give complete satisfaction. Krishna is Rasa Raj. So he enjoys. For that, he came to move with his friends, and the friends identify with him as friends, not as the supreme. In this way, they enjoy themselves. And while they're enjoying themselves, they are also inviting the outsiders to approach him, to join. That is Christian consciousness. So, International Christian Society for Christian Consciousness, International Society for Christian Consciousness is an incarnation of Krishna at this time, inviting everybody to participate, to join. Krishna's enjoyment. So, millions of people were killed. Therefore, it is said here. It is said here. Santuayam asa munibiri. Pata bandun sucha arpitan. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, desiring to pacify Yudhishthira Maharaj, and all others went with Munis. Santuayam, Asa Munibir, he went with the Munis, the sages, to go and pacify who? Those who were shocked and affected by the ghastly war that took many lives. That is an introduction to this chapter. And in this purport, the prophet said, the stringent laws of nature honor the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, cannot be altered by any living entity. That is what every intelligent person, every sensible person, every fortunate person sees this very clearly at this. So Prabhupada use the word stringent laws of nature, stringent. We cannot avoid it. We cannot avoid the laws of nature. We cannot. Why? The laws of nature were created by God, minus us. We are not there when He was enacting it for our own benefit. The supreme position of God here. He established religious principles for the benefit of human beings who are deviant. There's no regulative principle in the spiritual world. Regulative principle is here in the material world. Regulate, to adjust, because we are not balanced, we are not normal. So there's need for adjustment. So there is regulative principle, which is for freedom. That regulative principle is enacted or established by Krishna. Dharma Shastra, what Pranitam, is not established by someone else. So nobody else can adjust it. The stringent laws of nature, under the order or the supreme position of God, they cannot be altered by any living entity. We have to follow. And it is not that if I like, I can say, God, that is your own law. So if that is your law, I am not interested. Nobody can say that. Nobody can say that. Yeah, you can ask me, but the some people are not Christian conscious. So what about that? Some people are not Christian conscious. How many people are Christian conscious or following the path of Christian consciousness? How many people are following? So they are saying, no, that is your law, Christian. That is your law, your principle. I'm not going to stand at it. I'm not going to kill regulative principle. I want to do whatever I like. Nobody can say like that. Neither can anybody do that. But stringent. Whoever thinks that that is a fool, because what Krishna said about Gita, if you're intelligent, you simply follow what I have set down for you. If you're not intelligent, then you can think that you are free. But ultimately, if you don't intelligently bow down to me out of devotion, out of sweetness, kindly, I'm going to force you by force. I will force you. And he's doing that. Who can say no to that? If you don't become a devotee, come and offer obeisance to Krishna, that is going to offer you by force. And that is very, very painful and very dangerous, because nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. So I asked one devotee. See, for some of you devotees, you have had experience. You have had the philosophy. You have had a lot of experience, other dreams of their own personal dreams and the dreams of other people, and the different experience of a child. You have had a lot to make you convinced that the soul is eternal. Why still there is fear of death? Salika, tell me. I'm sure you know you will have a lot of experience to agree with the scripture that yes, the soul is eternal. I know you have many experiences. Many people have the experience, right? There's a lot of experience that it is true, not just philosophy, not just a story. It is true that the soul is eternal. We have had a lot of experience, many. But why we still fear death? That was my question.
Because we don't have faith.
Huh?
We lack faith.
Because we are still in the bodily consciousness.
We are still on the body platform.
We don't believe the scripture.
Yeah,
That's
no
why
faith.
we don't have faith on what the scripture says.
Yes. Yes. That is true. So we should have that. We should have the faith, and we should transcend the bodily platform. We should transcend that. Otherwise, we are going to leave the body crying. We're going not out of ecstasy, we're crying because of what we are leaving behind. What we are leaving behind, not out of pure love of Godhead. Out of what we are leaving behind. My wife, my husband, my money, my house, my cars. Oh, the car I just bought recently. Which of them is going to use a car now? Oh, Dad, can't you just give me 6 months? Just 6 months. That will be answered. There's somebody who can answer that. Only a pure devotee. Prabhupada said, I can extend my days, my time if I like. And he did. It's a pure devotee. Apart from that, nobody else can do it. We'll be forced to do it. Leave everything behind. So someone will be crying for that. So we're crying because of what we are going to meet. Because when we are leaving the body, we'll be experiencing the life are going to follow. If I see some people, they pass through, they're leaving the body, pass water. Because of fear, Yamadutas have come. So if you don't surrender to Krishna willingly, with our sweetheart in appreciating Krishna consciousness, we're going to be forced to leave the body in a very painful and miserable way. That is happening every time. So Prabhupada is correct. The living entities are eternally under the subjugation of the Almighty Lord. Eternally under the subjugation of the Almighty Lord. Eternally. Not sometimes. Why? Because we are not temporal beings. We're not temporal beings. We are eternal beings. Eternal beings. Eternal. Therefore, our situation is eternal. Yes. We are under the subjugation of Krishna. Ekale Ishvara Krishna. Arasarva Bhatya. Only one supreme person of God. Everyone else is what? Servants. Eternally. But our situation is eternal. Nitya, Nityanam. Nitya. Nityanam. The Supreme Lord is Nitya. And the Jivas are Nityanam. Cheta, yes. The conscious eternally. Chetanam. We are eternally conscious being because our source is eternally supreme beings. Supreme being. Therefore, we have to accept our position. That is religion. That is religion, which is teaching us to accept, to understand our position and accept it and follow it. That is religion. Anything else is just a so-called religion. The Lord makes all the laws and orders. And these laws and orders are generally called dharma or religion. No one can create any religious formula. Bona fide religion is to abide by the orders of the Lord. That is religion. What is religion? That process which is teaching the citizens or the followers to love God, that is bona fide religion. Anything below this is not religion. It's a semblance of religion, but that's not religion. Teaching the followers to love God, not to love Krishna's paraphernalia. Krishna's paraphernalia, his properties, but to love God and say the honor of all the properties. That is religion. Anything beyond that is not religion. And those who are practicing that, they are cheating people. Dharma, Pruchita, Koita, Atra, Parman, Saranam, Satam. They are rejected from the scriptures. Rejected. All of them are rejected for the bona fide process. Bona fide process of religion is not the name which we label. That is not. The activities which is under whatever level we may put it, the activities which is there, is that teaching on how to love God? That is religion. There's so many concocted ideas everywhere. So many concoctions, so many in the name of religion. And so many things are also being perpetrated under religion because they're not bona fide. It's not a religion. Religion teaches the followers how to love God. That is religion. The followers must love God. Not the Christian's property. The owner of the property, that is love. So we should try to understand what is happening. In the name of religion, which is not, people are just trained how to divide Christian's property. They are thieves. Are they thieves? How to divide Christian's property, but not Christian himself. So the Supreme Personality of God has enacted the process, a bona fide religious system to lead people how to go back home, back to Godhead. The Lord's orders are clearly declared in the Bhagavad Gita. Everyone should follow him only, all his orders, and that will make all happy, both materially and spiritually. We'll be happy materially and spiritually. It's a good message for those who think that if you are following God, you are a former. That is not the philosophy of acharyas. That is our own mundane philosophy. Because we have discussed many times, the renunciation is a powerful opulence. Renunciation, powerful opulence. Renunciation does not mean poverty. That's a different thing altogether. That is ignorance. Renunciation is opulence. And that is one of the best of all the opulences of Krishna, renunciation. So it is put at the end of all the opulences, renunciation is put last. Because if you possess duty, it is opulence. Yes? If you possess strength, it's opulence. If you possess knowledge, it's opulence. It's opulence. So all of them are added at the end. Renunciation. Renunciation comes at the end. Because it's an opulence. So Bhagavad Gita clearly established Krishna and Krishna's position, Krishna's laws. Anyone who does not follow the scriptural injunction is acting whimsically. He's a whimsical person. And as Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, whimsical activities should not be offered to Krishna because they're not offerable. So Prabhupada said, we should follow. Our duty is to follow the order of Krishna, or you follow Krishna. This religion. Krishna came personally to establish that. Because we have not seen someone had to manufacture a product, another person come and show you how to use it. It doesn't happen like that. It's a company that manufactures a good, he will show you how to use it. So when Krishna established the material world, he also established religion to follow. Therefore, we are speaking. Anyone who is not systematically studying Bhagavad Gita, he will remain in ignorance, he will remain suffering, no matter our exalted position in the material world. If you're not studying Bhagavad Gita under a teacher, Bhakti Sastri, a speculator, and you remain miserable. You can't get out of your misery. Is it not true, Prabhu?
It's true. You are miserable.
How are you going to get out? The Supreme Person will get it. He made the material. He knows everything. He gave a label, how to go about it. So if you don't read the label, you don't read Bhagavad Gita, how you get out? You don't know how to drive a car, you enter the car. Is that wonderful? Is that wonderful? A car can be a good one, that's okay. But you don't know how to drive. It is dangerous. So if we stay in this material world, if you don't read Bhagavad Gita under a qualified teacher, speculation and misery will always be our constant companion. As long as we are in the material world, our duty is to follow the orders of the Lord. And if by the grace of the Lord, we are liberated from the clutches of the material world, then in our liberated state also, we can render transcendental loving service unto the Lord. Only at the liberated state, we can render service which is enjoyed by Krishna. The service which will give Krishna pleasure. It comes from understanding, and we have to study the scriptures to be able to understand what are the things or how to please the Supreme Personality. Otherwise, Krishna told him clearly in the Bhagavad Gita, if you don't do Bhakti, you will do karma bandhana. If you don't do Krishna Bhakti, it will be karma bandhana. Krishna Bhakti is liberating. Karma bandhana. Karma is binding. Is binding. In our material stage, we can see neither ourselves nor the Lord for want of spiritual vision. But when we are liberated from material affection and are situated in our original spiritual form, we can see both ourselves and the Lord face to face. Krishna came here to show us that personally. Krishna came here with the cowhead boyfriends and the cowhead girlfriends, the mother, the father, the relatives, uncles. Yes, Krishna brought all, and he demonstrated. See how the cowhead boy, he eat with Krishna face to face. He play with Krishna hand to hand, leg to leg. This morning, Krishna Kavada Goswami was telling the cowhead boys, they were Krishna Balaram, they're fighting. They are not fighting to beat Krishna. They are fighting to give Krishna pleasure. It's different. Because that is Bhakti. When that was going on, Brahma was completely confused. What is happening? What is this? Look, Brahma is a very fortunate. Why? Brahma is very fortunate because he committed offense, but from his offense, so many things came out to be learned by every devotee. So many things, including himself. And he confessed, he lamented, he regretted and confessed. Lord Krishna, I do not know you. I was thinking that as Veda Garba, I know it, but now what I have seen with my eyes, I can declare that I do not know you. And I don't want to try to know you. I will simply follow. The Prophet said, the Gyanis are trying to know Krishna. Let them continue. They will end with frustration. Because that part is very dry. But the part of Bhakti is like a stream flowing with honey. A stream of honey flowing for devotees to drink. A stream, you need a gate, a stream, the river. There is a gate to rivers. The river is open. Any person can go there and fetch. With any container you have, you can fetch. That is Bhakti. Well, Lord Brahma saw that himself and he confessed, I don't know you and I don't want to try to know you. The Brijapasi, they simply loved Krishna. They don't care to know who Krishna is. That is not the problem. They simply loved him. That is enough. That's satisfied. They are not fools. Brahma is very intelligent. What do you know about Krishna? But because he didn't go to school, they know everything about Krishna. That's brilliant. And they are simply enjoy. Krishna came to show us, see, you want to enjoy? Come here. There you're suffering. Here it's enjoyment. You want to come, you have to come here. To come here, you have to hear these things carefully, regularly, every day. You have to hear it. Yes. Mukti means to be reinstated in one's original spiritual status after giving up the material conception of life. Therefore, human life is specifically meant for qualifying ourselves for spiritual liberty. Spiritual liberty. For spiritual liberty. Yes. This is freedom. And anyone who wants to be free, anyone who wants to be free, anyone who wants to be independent, this is a process. The process is to do bhakti. But the bhakti becomes completely instated in our original constitutional position. That is freedom. That is independence. Anything beyond this, it is a branch of ignorance. Unfortunately, under the influence of illusory material energy, we have saved this spotlight of only a few years as our permanent existence, and thus become illusions by possessing so-called country, home, land, children, wife, community, wealth, etc., which are all false representations created by Maya, illusion. Spotlight of only a few years. What is 100 years? What is 100 years? Compared to the years of Indra, compared to the years of Brahma. What is 100 years? What is 100 years? Give you an example. What is 1 naira? Compared to billion. What is it? What is it? A billion or zillion. So zillion. What is 1 naira compared to zillion? Can they be compared? Is any comparison? Any way to compare them? Then you are talking about eternity. Eternity means there's nothing to calculate. It's eternity. There's no end. There's no end to it. So, in other words, we're simply wasting our time for nothing. We should learn how to use time. We already discussed that. Time is not our property. So, we don't have time if you're not a devotee. And under the dictation of Maya, we fight with one another to protect these false positions. False positions. The land we are living in has been here before we came. And it will remain here when we are living. Which one belongs to us? We are the son of the soil. Okay, you are the son of the soil, but are you going to take it when I live in this body? You're going to take it? How did you become the son of the soil? So is it only you? Is it only you who is the son of the soil? What of the animal? What of the plant? What of the instinct? Are they not also born in that country? So you cut down the trees, you kill all the animals, because you are the son of the soil. So what about the other entities? They are not the son of the soil? Ignorance.
Indigenous people.
Huh?
We are the indigenous people. Indigenous.
Oh, we are the indigenous. Indigenous. The goat you kill, you're not indigenous. You're not born in that country. All the chickens are not born in that country. They're not indigenous. They are born in that country. They are also citizens. So kill them. How is our civilization? How is that unity in diversity? How is that? All ignorance. All ignorance. Then we're fighting. When the Muslim and Christian fight, or Christians, or whatever, tribal people, when there is a fight and all the dead bodies are lying here, can you select which one is Christian, which is Muslim, which is Hindu, which is whatever? The government in that country, they're going to separate the dead body. Okay, this Christian dead body to that side, this is Muslim dead body to that side. The government are going to do that. They're going to dump all the useless. They're all trashes. They're going to dump all of them in one place and finish. That's all. So what is this? Ignorance. Ignorance makes everyone, nobody suffer who is a self-realized soul. There's no suffering for self-realized soul. Suffering is only for conditioned souls. Government, they waste their time to come and celebrate the Hindu body, the Christian body, Muslim body. This is a higher class. This is a president body. At that time, these are doctor bodies. These are lawyer bodies. They separate all of them because they fought for what? The body, the land. The land is going to take all of them because we came from there. Our body came from there. Ignorance. By cultivating spiritual knowledge, yes, we can realize that we have nothing to do with all this material paraphernalia. Then at once we become free from material attachment. This clearance, the way proper use word. You understand clearance? You understand? Clearing and forwarding agent, no? Clearance. You understand? So powerful. Just see this clearance. What is it clearing? Ignorance. Christian consciousness is what? To trash out the to clear it off. Such a direct, powerful, right to the point. Just right to the point. This clearance of misgivings of material existence at once take place by association with the Lord's devotees, who are able to inject the transcendental sound into the depth of the bewildered heart, and thus make one practically liberated from all lamentation and illusion. Clearance. My dear brother, my dear sister, where will you find your fortune? Where? Our fortune is only where Christian devotees, Prabhupada said here, the pure devotee will clear, they clear and forward us. Clearing and forward us. Yes. They clear all the debris, all the garbage, clear all the nonsense from the head. Then we can be able to see what is reality. Oh, we are all spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. There's no need to fight. All these are not necessary. This is the duty of the pure devotee of Krishna. Practically liberated from all lamentation and illusion. This is the duty of a acharya. Yes. 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 This is a summary of the pacifying measures for those affected by the reaction of stringent material laws, exhibited in the forms of birth, they have old age and disease, which are insoluble factors of material existence. The victims of war, namely the family members of the Kurus, were lamenting the problems of death, and the Lord pacified them on the basis of knowledge. Hare Krishna. Kesava Prabhuji, how's your health?
Thank you, Maharaj. I'm having some chronic digestive troubles the last 40 years. I'm planning to go to South India sometime in April. Hope we'll see what happens. Thank you for asking, Maharaj.
So clearance is going. Yes, so clearance, yes. Yes. Hare Krishna. Comments or questions?
Question, can you raise your hand? Maharaj, I have some question.
Okay.
In the scripture, it is said that whatever we say in the material world, the original exists in the spiritual world. Material world is only a reflection, like a tree beside the river. It's turned upside down. In the course of your lecture, Your Holiness mentioned that there is no regulative principles in the spiritual world. It's only the material world. So can you explain a bit, if it's not in the spiritual world, why do we have it here? Because whatever is there is what we see here is a reflection. Yes.
There is no sinful activity in the spiritual world. So nobody to be punished in the spiritual world. Therefore, there's no rules and regulations there. There is no sin there. It is only here. They are living entities in the spiritual world, but they are living entities who are eternally liberated souls. They have not sinned. So the living entities who are in the material world, yes, we have abnormal living situations. Therefore, there are certain things which are here. So there are certain things which are there that are not here. There are certain things which are here also that are not there. For example, there is no sin there, but the sins are here. There is no punishment there, but there is punishment here. The religion is there. What is the religion? That everyone is a lover of God. That's a religion there. But here, what is the religion? The religion here is that we don't have love for God. Therefore, God has to establish a principle to help us get regulated to do exactly what we're supposed to do as human beings. Activity for the human being is forgotten because we have left what is our religion. And then we are culturing irreligion. So religion is being introduced here. No religion is introduced in the spiritual world because everyone is Christian conscious.
Thank you, Maharaj. We have next question from Ishkon Kaduna Mandi. Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Really appreciate and celebrate you so much because of these wonderful lectures. My question is, since we are spirit souls, part and parcel of Krishna, I just want to understand if we quit this our material body, are we still going to understand in the spiritual world that we are once in this material world and what actually transpired here on this material world? Then second, you made mention of Karma Banda and Krishna Bhakti. We that we are married, and also, yes, we that we are married, I would like to know, for instance, we just have to go out and work and bring food for the family. If we work now and bring some of the part of the work to Krishna consciousness, are we still going to be bound by the activities we are doing, or we are going to be liberated? That's my question. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
If we work and are given the result of Krishna, that is not fruitive activity. It is now Krishna Bhakti. That's Krishna Karma. It's not fruitive activity anymore. Fruitive activity, fruitive means that whatever I do, I want the result. That is fruitive, the result of activities. we enjoy that. That is fruitful. But if we are working and giving to Krishna, it's not fruitful activity. It is now Krishna conscious activity. So we are not bound by that. So free. That activity frees us from bondage. We are free from bondage. We are implicated. So all of us who have this philosophy that where I work is where I eat, we should know that we are doing productive activity, and you are going to be bound by that. Because you know Krishna consciousness. So desiring to enjoy the fruit of activities is binding, it is sinful. The whole teaching of Bhagavad Gita is to help us understand this, so we can renounce the result of activities for Krishna and be free also from the activity, the reaction of our senses. The first question was what? Oh, the first one.
Okay. The second question, sorry, I said, since we are spirit soul and part and parcel of Krishna, I want to understand. Yes, I want to understand, if we put this our material body, are we still going to understand the activities that transpire here on earth, or how?
When you get back home, back to Godhead, nothing will make you to remember here.
Okay.
There's no need to remember anything here. There's nothing here to think of, to remember. There's nothing here practically, like a bad dream. Who like to remember a bad dream? It's a forgotten thing. Just like if a person who has been suffering, for years, just one day become a billionaire, you never remember thousands of years you suffer without a minute. You forget completely. That is spirit material here. So what about spiritual life? You never remember there's a place like material world. What is that? It doesn't exist for you. Except Krishna wants you to come and do some preaching here. Then you can remember when Krishna asked Jamuna and Ganga to come here, they were very happy. Yeah. Just like a guru tells disciples, I'm sending you to Timbuktu to open the temple. Yeah, Timbuktu. Yeah, Gurudev, I want to go and open the temple there. Then you are going enthusiastically. You are going. You get close to Timbuktu at the border. They are telling you, hey, you are going to that place. Hey, if you go there, everybody there are waiting for you as soon as you come. Want to go there? Hey. No. I didn't know like that before. Gurudev, can you send me to America? I want to do service, but not Timbuktu. I want to go somewhere. So nobody would like to go there. So when we get to Godhead, there's nothing like remembering anything here. We forget it because the enjoyment is extremely, very high, extremely high. And you forget. All right.
Thank you, Maharaj. Our next question is from Shivas Das Vanachari. Shivas, please. Unmute your mic. Okay.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Happy to see you, Maharaj.
Yeah, I'm happy to see you.
My question is, in the beginning of your class, you talked about renunciation as an opulence.
Yes.
So I was thinking deeply about it, and I would like you to expatiate. How is renunciation an opulence?
Yes. How is renunciation an opulence? Because renunciation means what? Give up. Yeah, give up your house, give up your cars, give up your money, give up this, give up that. That is a mistaken idea. A mistaken idea. For example, for example, Prabhu, do you have a paid job? You have
No,
a paid
Maharaj.
job?
No, Maharaj.
You are afraid of what you are going to eat tomorrow?
Never. It counts automatically.
So what is behind that? It's your renunciation. That is a renunciation. That is the power of renunciation. It's an opulence. But look at all the billionaires. Just look at the fear they're having about, hey, if I lose my position, what will happen to me? Just see, they are haunted by this. The whole world is haunted by this. So it is confirmed that the psychiatric patient, the majority of psychiatric patients are CEOs, not the poor man in the street. Not the poor man in the street. Why the CEO, chief executive officer? Why them? Why? They are afraid of losing what they have. That is why you see billionaires are still cheating people to get more money. They're afraid. So prophets use the word status quo. Status quo is haunting people that they are breaking up principles to get the money to maintain their status. Those are afraid. We see a devotee. Those are afraid of what is going to happen tomorrow. That is your opulence. That is renunciation. The renunciation is opulence. I see, look at devotees. Look at devotees, so many things they have. So many things. See Prabhupada all over the world. Can you count how many houses Prabhupada has in the world, in the universe? Eh? Can anyone count how many restaurants Prabhupada has in the whole world? How many houses? How many schools he has? How many temples he has? The preaching centers, Namahatas? Can we count? What is that? It's renunciation. It is not poverty. It's renunciation. One Prabhupada told us, he was trying to start his business and fail. He was trying to do this, fail. He was trying to do it, fail. Krishna said, hey, my friend, this what you have, what I want you to do is not this thing. Leave this and come for the real thing. And Prabhupada confessed that I have children who are better than my biological children. What is that? Renunciation. Renunciation. Opulence. Is it true, Prabhu?
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj.
So people are disgracing this opulence, thinking that renunciation means you wear a cloth, and then you eat one mango in a day, and stay in the forest. So Papa didn't say that's renunciation. Renunciation is different. It's opulence.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you, Maharaj. Our next question is from Rasa Lila Prayer. So you please unmute.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for the wonderful lectures, very enlightening.
Hare Krishna, because of your presence.
Your mercy, Maharaj. I actually had a comment on the statement of renunciation. Some people thinking it's a curse.
Yes.
Especially when they read to renounce everything, surrender everything to Krishna. They think pretty much what Krishna is saying is for them to become homeless.
Yes.
But renunciation is actually liberating because it's like a quicksand.
Right.
In the aspect of, when someone is in a quicksand, they struggle so hard to come out of it, but they only go deeper.
Yes.
And from my personal experience of renunciation, also meaning surrender, if anything, it only makes things better, and it is actually liberating. So thank you so much for that comment.
Yes, that is true.
Okay, so
So actually, what Krishna wanted to do is to give up abominable life and have a real life to live. Yes.
Yes, Maharaj, thank you. I have another question. In the course of your lecture, you mentioned people are interested on how to divide Krishna's properties and not Krishna himself. I'm interested in this. I want you to a bit expatiate how devotees try to divide Krishna's properties, or how karmis claim Krishna properties and not Krishna. Because for karmis, they don't know Krishna. But we devotees, we know Krishna. We are dividing and collecting his properties. Can you talk a bit about this?
Yes.
How we do this? How do we do it? By taking his properties.
Yes, thank you very much for your insightful question. So it is clear that the Catholics are doing that. It is clear. Every time people come to God, oh God, give me this, give me this, give me this, give me this. So it's not about God. It's about what we want to get from God that we are coming to God for. Nobody has ever come to God one day and said, oh Krishna, oh Jagannath, my dear Lord, how are you doing today? How many people do that? I'm talking about devotees. How many people come before our deities in the temple and ask Krishna, my dear Lord Krishna, how are you doing today? How many of us do that? We ask Krishna about how he's doing, how he's feeling. The person who is standing there from morning till night, every day, and thousands of people come every day to meet him. Oh, Krishna, I'm having very serious sickness. Please give me a nice body so I can do service in devotion. Because Krishna, I want to do devotional service. So give me good body to do devotional service. So Krishna, without good health, I cannot chant very nicely. I cannot chant the holy name very nicely. Yeah, but how many devotees come before Krishna and say, Krishna, how are you?
Is a question?
Yes.
Not so many due to coronavirus.
Not because of coronavirus, it is because it's our own disease itself. We have the corona before the coronavirus came. Because if we have it, if we have the nature of asking God how he's doing, we will do that at all times, not only sometimes. Yeah, at all times. No condition will force you to do otherwise. We do what it is. Because we are eternal beings, we have missing the we are eternal beings. So our activities, our nature is eternal. See, to be eternal. So also we devotees who are doing the same thing the Karmis are doing in a subtle way. The Karmis are doing it in a gross way. We devotees who are doing it in a subtle way. That's one thing. And another thing is that majority, not in all cases, but many devotees were too selfish, extremely selfish. If some of us don't have the position we have in Krishna consciousness, we will not stay in the movement. Some devotees, big and small, if you don't have the position we have now in this movement, we will not be in the movement. We will start our own. What is the idea of starting our own? We're not starting our own to expand the preaching. We are starting our own to maintain our status quo, to maintain our position. Not Krishna, it's our position. We want to maintain. We are fighting for. That we see everywhere. So what does that mean? We are simply concerned about Krishna's property, not about our positions. What we can get from Krishna. It is going in a very subtle way as devotees. How many devotees chant Hare Krishna if you have just a headache? Just headache. Or lie in the bed the whole day. person who loves Krishna cannot do it. A person who loves Krishna would remember Krishna all the time. Nothing will disturb our job. Nothing. No material facility will stop our job. Nothing.
Thank you, Maharaj. Next question is from Dr. George Amega. Amega, please, on your camera and your mic.
Amega.
Okay. Thank you very much for your wonderful lecture. I would like to know if renunciation is opulence, why is it that our sannyasis have to give the material opulences they have then before they become sannyasis? I think then they should have been maintained, they should maintain the opulences that they have, their properties that they have, and at the same time do their work as a sannyas. But if renunciation is opulence, how can you relate this for me to understand it very well? Because you may mention on top of have houses all over the world, but it's a sannyas. So why is it that
so many, I know so many, maybe practically in West Africa, so many, so many devotees here in West Africa. Majority of electronics we have come from a special master. Every time his Holy Kapshamara comes here, he gives so many cell phones, he gives computer, he gives my mic I'm not using today, which I use every day. His Holy Kapshamara gave me. Before then, he gave me another one. Is that opulence or is poverty? Is that poverty or opulence? Who is giving? Is it the poor man or a person who is receiving is poor? Which of them is poor?
And the one who is not giving that is poor.
Yes. So how many electronics have got? How many? The first cell phone I use for life is given by his Holy Kapshamara. And many, and I know many other devotees also they have a lot. That is just electronic. What about money? It's a sannyasi. I'm just being practical. So is that poverty? He's maintaining us.
That's okay.
When he comes here, do we give him ticket to come? He will come here to come and give us money to do this and do that. So is that poverty?
That's offline.
Yes, opulence. So nice. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj.
They're traveling everywhere, all over everywhere. Is that poverty? I went to Nigerian embassy in Delhi to renew my passport. So the man, he took my passport. Sir, this passport is supposed to last for 5 years. You finish it in 1 year. So you have to write a statement why you need a new one. So you have to write a letter. Hey, after I finish, I say, hey, oh, money is good. Money is good. See, this man finished his passport, 5 years passport in 1 year. Traveling. Oh, guy, you paid money. At least you appreciate it.
Thank you, Maharaj, for that story. Next question is from Sadev Prabhu. Sadev, please. I hope he's on seat. Okay. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you so much. I have to say thank you for the lecture. We had adjusted time here, so it's making me participating in the program a little difficult for me.
Oh,
the time, yes, the time. But I have to try to figure out a way to make it work for me. So I couldn't hear much of what you said. I was hearing bits and pieces here and there. But I have a question which probably is not directly pertaining to what you spoke on. I've been trying to be a serious devotee, but at the same time, I'm afraid being a serious devotee because I realize that almost all the time the very, very serious devotee go through so much pain and suffering. And I don't know if Krishna just takes some interest in seeing his pure devotees go through pain. So that is my fear. And my question is, how do you help me with this fear? Thank you, man.
Yes, as you are asking me a question, my mind just went to Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And Narada is trying to find a devotee who is the recipient of Krishna's mercy. He started going from one devotee to another devotee. So he came to Yudhishthira Maharaj because he was going to one devotee. First, he started from every night Brahmana. The sages who were at the pilgrimage. He went to them from them to the Brahmana. From the Brahmana, he came to the king. From the king, he came to Indra. From Indra to Brahma. So he was going, and he came to Yudhishthira Maharaj. When he came to Yudhishthira Maharaj, he said, "Oh, Yudhishthira, you are the recipient of Krishna's mercy. You got Krishna's mercy. Krishna lived in the house exactly the same manner he lives in Goloka, in Vaikuntha, and in Dwaka, the same way. Krishna is your counselor. You send him message. Is your messenger. Is your friend. Is your everything. You control Krishna. You are worshiping. Yudhishthira Maharaj said, please, excuse me, just a minute. How can you say that I am the recipient of Krishna's mercy? Anyone who remembers me will give up Krishna consciousness. And anybody who hear about my right from my childhood till this time will not be a devotee because my life is completely full of problems. How is that encouraging for a devotee? So how can you say that? And I've gotten the message of Krishna. Please don't say this. But Yudhishthira Maharaj said this, and all the devotees in Narada Muni went, none of them agree that he has gotten the message of Krishna. Everyone completely refused that they don't have the message of Krishna. Everyone, none of them agree that he has. Lord Shiva, everybody, Hanuman, all of them, they said no. We don't have. That one has. When you go to that, I don't know this one. I don't know this one. Narada Muni went all through like this. Nobody accepted that has the message of Krishna. They count. I just finished. I was just going through Indra's one. Indra counting his all. Don't say that I get the message of Krishna. my mother and father, they prayed to Krishna seriously. For Krishna to appear, he didn't come personally. He came partially. How is that? He don't like me. If he like, he would have come complete as himself. He just sent a partial part of himself, not himself. So is that mercy? And even though he came like that, when he comes, sometimes he's here, sometimes he's not there. Huh? When he comes again, next time when he comes again, I try to teach him so he can say, "Oh my Lord, no, we want to accept our." Say, my friend, if I'm not there, I give it to Brahma, I give it to Shiva. We're the same thing. What is the problem? So is that a person who favors me? I cannot say that I'm the recipient of Krishna. I don't. Naramoni said, but yeah, if you go to Goloka, if you go to Baikota, if you go to Shiva, you can fall in and say, hey, you don't know where he stays. He said, where do you know he stays? So I cannot go following him here because you don't know where he stays. He's there tomorrow, he's there tomorrow, another day, he's everywhere. So I don't have his mercy. I don't have. Please don't forget about this topic. The person who has his mercy is not me. It's your father. You go to Brahma. He's the one who has. You give power to Brahma. So, pure devotees think like this. But do you think that they are suffering? No. Because pure devotee cannot suffer. So, Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying that anyone who look at my life and look at all my difficult, my problems will never have faith in God. But Hanuman said, I'm not the recipient of Krishna's mercy. The one who has is Yudhishthira Maharaj. Because Yudhishthira Maharaj, he controlled Krishna. It is what he tells Krishna that he will do. And Krishna used him to advertise his devotees. Krishna used him to show us faith in Krishna, the level of tolerance, and because of this, Krishna himself has given himself to the body. But you just say, I don't have his mercy. Therefore, we have to understand what Krishna is doing. It is true that pure devotees, they have a lot of challenges. Yes, I was telling one devotee, His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj said, it is not easy for me, my spiritual life, my Christian cause is not easy. Why? Because he has established a principle that anywhere he go, have to maintain that. Heavy Christian for hours, heavy this, heavy that. He cannot go less because he has established a position, you have to remain there. Other good health or bad health, you have to remain there. But that is the ecstasy of pure devotees. That is their ecstasy. But when the Puri, even the Buddha is crying, I don't know, Krishna, oh, Lord of Mathura, will I ever see you again? Is lamenting. That is pure love. I don't have love for Krishna. That is how they feel. And by the way, Krishna wants that devotee, the pure devotee, to come back to him. Therefore, he put them in the situation where all the things need to be cleared, have to be cleared off completely. A good doctor cannot leave anything, cannot treat anything and leave even small. This is not even small. Completely, everything has to get out. That is Krishna, the supreme doctor. That is what the supreme doctor Krishna is doing. Taking every unnecessary thing out completely. So in that way, it will look like products are suffering, but that is your ecstasy. It is a fortune. It is a fortune that he has written that shown to us.
Thank you, Maharaj, for the answer. In the course of the lecture, you mentioned that anyone who is not studying Bhagavad Gita is miserable and will keep suffering.
Yes.
So how do we tell non-devotees to understand that Bhagavad Gita is not about war and terrorism? Because non-devotees may study it and say that this is a terrorist religion. Mm-hmm. They may give it up.
So, in the battle of Kurukshetra, when you when you take a guitar, on the page of guitar, you see on the first page there, you see Krishna, you see Arjuna that's sitting on the chariot. Sometimes you see the army from this and that side, and they are fighting for 18 days. So that is, when you take Mahabharata, when you look at the movies, that is what we see. We only see the ghastly fighting and the chariot, broken elephant, the horses, and that is what you see. For 18 days that took place. But do you know what was also happening within this 18 days? Do you know what was happening? Lord Krishna was washing Arjuna's horses every day for 18 days. He was feeding the horses for 18 days. He was dealing with Krishna, with Arjuna intimately for 18 days. That was secretly going on. But who sees that? Only a devotee sees that. The intimate, lovely dealing Krishna was having with his friend Arjuna. Who washes someone's horse? It's a servant, not a master. Arjuna was not washing the horses. It's Krishna who was washing for 18 days. Arjuna did not feed the horses for the 18 days. It's a Krishna who was feeding the horses for 18 days. Is that a war or it is love? So devotees see different, and non-devotees see different. So we have to let them understand that it is not just a war which is happening today. It is just justice over righteousness over evil. That was the issue, but it didn't being displayed. A family member want to cheat other family member, and they have to settle it in that way since every measure failed. The last measure was to do it in this way so that the justice would take its course. That's what happened.
Thank you, Maharaj. Next question again from Rasalila Prayer. Rasalila, please unmute.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for your explanation on suffering. When you mentioned that, it actually brought me back to a lecture that I was listening by Swami Maharaj, and he was explaining how during the last moments of His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj's time here on the planet, there was an instance where he was with him and then they were chanting together, but because of the amount of pain that His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj was in, it was difficult for him to concentrate on the mantra. I mean, on the lecture, on the book that he was reading. And so he started chanting to Maharaj. He started chanting the Maha Mantra to Bhakti Swami Maharaj. And the comment that Bhakti Swami Maharaj made was that in this moment he was tasting Krishna more than he had throughout his life, and he wouldn't give this moment, meaning the pain that he was in, the amount of trembling that his body was due to the cancer that he had. He said that he wouldn't give that moment or exchange it with anyone for anything. So in that moment of his suffering, he actually experienced Krishna's mercy. So when you mention Krishna's mercy, he experienced that. So I just wanted to thank you for mentioning that. That comment made me remember that. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. All right. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj, for this lecture. We know your schedule is tight, so we come to an end and ask our devotees to kindly unmute yourselves. Let's thank Hare Krishna for Maharaj for coming. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Ram.
Bhakti Srinivas Banachari ki jai. Jai.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,